What up, people? It's Red Brick Bob. Red Brick announcement. Red Brick news. The unity of governments. A shared purpose beyond borders. Amidst the tumultuous landscape of our times, a profound realization dawns, a testament to the power of truth and unity, in challenging the divisive forces that perpetuate conflict. Assembled with these words is a proclamation, a rallying call echoing from the depths of the conscience and empathy. Witness the emergence of the allegorical force, a red brick army of truth, where truth itself becomes a weapon and unity stands as a fortress against the architects of discord. Behold the embodiment of this conviction encapsulated in a message that transcends hostility, aiming to reshape the narrative toward peace, understanding, and collective prosperity. Interdependence in global affairs discuss how modern economics, technology, and communication networks have interconnected nations. So what I'm trying to show to y'all in this body of work is that all governments are one, okay? So some of my common objectives and agreements, the detailed specific instances where governments collaborate, such as multinational treaties, e.g. Paris Agreement on Climate Change, Antarctica Treaty, emphasizing shared objectives. So make a note in your own mind and highlight those cooperative efforts despite differing ideologies or political systems. See? The shared challenges and responses. Discuss the global challenges that affect all nations, like pandemics, climate change, or cybersecurity threats. All stems from the same one group. See? The role of international organizations. Explore the function of international organizations, e.g. United Nations, World Health Organization, in fostering cooperation among governments, and yet you see white lines everywhere, and that's nothing. That's a conspiracy. See? Highlight instances in your mind where nations come together through organizations to find solutions to common issues. Okay? So recap just those points made about the interconnectedness of the shared objectives amongst governments. You know, it's important that we, in recognizing these commonalities of global progress, peace, and addressing global changes effectively. See? So the Paris Agreement on climate change. The Paris Agreement is a landmark international treaty with the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. There's them CC riders again. It aims to mitigate global climate change by reducing greenhouse gas emissions, adapting to climate impacts, and fostering finance and technological transfers for sustainable development. Key points include nationwide contributions. Each participating country determines its own nationally determined contribution, the NDC, to curb emissions, fostering a collective effort while respecting individual nations' circumstances. Regular reviews and updates. It involves periodic reviews and assessments of progress towards the shared goals, encouraging nations to ramp up their efforts over time. Global cooperation. The agreement emphasizes financial and technological support for developing countries to assist in both mitigation and adaptation measures. Antarctica Treaty, 1959. The Antarctic Treaty is an international agreement signed by 12 countries initially, aiming to regulate human activity in Antarctica to ensure its use for peaceful purpose in scientific research. Stop. Think about that for a minute. That's bullshit. They all go there. It's a playground for the elite. That's what it's become. And we need to put a stop to the UN and this global agenda that they have. So the key points include territory claims suspended. The treaty suspends territory claims and disputes over Antarctica, fostering a cooperative approach to the continent's use. Scientific cooperation. It promotes scientific research and international collaboration by facilitating the exchange of information and personnel between nations. Is that stupid if that's your enemy? See, it's not your enemy, folks. They use these groups to come against you. Look what we're doing right now with Israel and Ukraine. More hocus pocus. So, the environmental protection. It establishes guidelines for conservation of flora and fauna and environmental protocols to prevent pollution in Antarctica. The Trans-Pacific Partnership, the TPP. See, they like the PP. Although not fully realized due to changes in participating countries, the TPP was a proposed trade agreement between 12 Pacific Rim countries. Its goals included trade and economic integration. The agreement aimed to reduce tariffs and promote trade among member nations, fostering economic growth and cooperation. Labor and environmental standards. It sets standards for labor practices and environmental protection, aiming to uplift labor conditions and sustainability. The North American Treaty Organization, NATO as we call it, is a military alliance established for collective defense among member states in North America and Europe. Shut it down. Just wasting our money, you clowns. Key features include mutual defense member countries commit to mutual defense in case of an attack on any member, enhancing security cooperation. Joint military exercise. NATO conducts joint military exercises, training, and information sharing to ensure readiness and interoperability among member nations. See, once again, see, it's one. You're sharing your information. It'd be like, hey, I'm going to tell the neighbors my security code to get into my joint. See, it's bull. These treaties showcase instances where governments collaborate on various fronts, including climate change, scientific research, trade, defense, security, demonstrating shared objectives and mutual cooperation among nations. In the clandestine chambers of warmongers, their strategies were as precise as a mason meticulously stacking red bricks, one atop another, building walls between nations. They understood their potency of dividing and conquering one nation at a time, fragmenting unity to fuel their insatiable thirst for conflict. They employed a toolkit of manipulation, targeting vulnerabilities within societies. They exploited historical grievances, religious differences, economic disparities, the political ideologies, skillfully exacerbating fault lines that could fracture even the most cohesive nations. With deft hands, they sowed their seeds of distrust, feeding on the discord they created. Their narrative was cunning, crafted to pit neighbor against neighbor, faction against faction, sowing seeds of animosity where cooperation once flourished. They understood that a fractured nation was easier to sway, easier to manipulate into believing that their security lay in the barrels of guns rather than in unity with their fellow citizens. Each division they orchestrated was a brick meticulously placed, strengthening the walls of hostility and separation. Yet despite their calculated moves, the human spirit preserved. People across these artificially drawn lines sought connections, understanding, and common ground. Slowly the walls built by warmongers began to crack as bridges of solidarity were built by those yearning for peace and unity, like the Red Brick Army. The warmongers carefully constructed divisions through seemingly impenetrable were no match for the resilience of communities striving to bridge their differences. The cracks in the walls widened as people recognized the manipulative hands at play, choosing to stand united against the very forces that sought to divide them. To those entangled in the web of conflict and the production of weapons, heed this awakening. A formidable force, a red brick army of truth, emerges not with swords or guns, but armed with the power of honesty and unity. This force stands against the architects of division, wielding truth as its unyielding weapon. In the presence of truth, the fortress built on falsehoods and hostility crumbles. Consider the strength found in transparency and unity, for when united under the banner of truth and peace, the shadows cast by deception dissipate, paving the way for a world where understanding triumphs over conflict. Red Brick Bob, food for thought. All governments are one. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Don't buy the bullshit. Hit him with a red brick. Have a beautiful day. Let's do it. Let's take a look in the black mirror. I got it. So, like, share, and subscribe. Become that wall of truth with the Red Brick Army. Yeah, truth. Red bricks. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. Let's take a walk in the black mirror. We don't need no more war. Give our money back from Ukraine and Israel and all that. Give them the sticks, man. The war will be over quickly. See? So, peace to everybody. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. And let's take a walk in the black mirror. See ya. Alright, Big James, thanks for stopping by. What up, dude? Excuse me. So anyway, the unity of government. If you just do your own little research, you'll see it. And the division will stop in your own mind. You will start becoming more clear about so many things that you see as soon as you see that. So that's just another thing that Meltology will bring you to see. Okay? And indeed, we need a red brick truth group of people, the red brick people, who will bring you truth. So, there it is. So, thanks for stopping by there, Big James. We got the chat open there for a minute, see if anybody has anything to say other than Big Jim. And I didn't see it because I couldn't see the chat till that thing got done. And then I could see the chat. And I could see the chat. Well, I could open my phone, but I didn't think of that. You know. So, anyway, we took a walk in the Black Mirror, looking around. You know, even the UN symbol changed and so forth. And you see, it was all mostly about these wars is wrecking the past. If you really start just looking at things, you know what I mean? You're taking over the red brick realm, you know? So, thanks for stopping by, Big James. I gotta get rolling here. My woman, Linda, needs me. So thanks for stopping by. Later. Alright, that's it. Big James stopped by. Great. It was great seeing you. It's always good to see Big James. I don't have the answer what it's going to take, but our history has been a fraud, just part of the division. So, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Don't let people divide you. Don't become divided in your own families and households. Bring unity and peace and love and harmony. It starts within you. Take a look. Don't let the goobly-gop people of the world, those controllers with their narrative on the TV,